Good day, gracious people. I thank God so much for your lives. Listen, the Lord is good and his mercies endureth forever. I thank God for another week of a week's word. I thank him for the privilege and the opportunity to come into your space this week to share with you on this week's word. And so this week, I want to share with you all on the theme, the Jesus way, the Jesus way. In the book of Matthew chapter 11 verse 30, scripture tells us that his yoke is easy and his burden is light. His yoke is easy and his burden is light. But sometimes as people, we live by this adage that God helps those who help themselves. So we go about life trying to find ways and means to help ourselves, leaving God out of the equation. We find ways and means. We try to find ways and means to help ourselves. But guess what? All of the helping of ourselves comes down to nothing. What it leaves us with is depression and, the things that comes up bothering our minds and all sorts of things because we can't help ourselves. Listen, child of God, whatever it is that you are trying to help yourselves from, hand it over to Jesus. Because when he comes into the situation, he makes the difference. He makes the difference. He makes the change. When he comes in, he makes things change. And so whatever it is, hand it over to him. And so this week, I want us to look at a scripture from the book of John, chapter 5, verse 3. And I'm sure most of us are familiar with the story of Jesus going to the pool of Bethsaida and he healing this man that had been in infirmity for 38 good years. For 38 good years, scripture says that this man, he laid in a great multitude of sick people, the blind, the lame, the paralyzed, and he was waiting for a moving of water. For an angel went down at a certain time in the pool, stirred up the water, and whoever stepped in the water first after the stirring up of the water by the angel was made well. So for 38 good years, this man had so much hope. He was waiting, that one day will be his day for him to hop in this water and be healed from his infirmity. But what this man didn't know, that there was a Jesus way. What he knew was the pool of Bethsaida was the only way, but there is the Jesus way. Because when Jesus came on scene, he made it better. When Jesus came on scene, he changed everything around. When Jesus came on scene, 38 good years had been translated in like a few minutes of miracles. Child of God, maybe you've known a certain way, or you've been living in a certain way for some time now. Hand your life over to Jesus. Whatever it is that you are going through, hand it over to him. Don't try to help yourself. Don't try to do it. Don't try to do it. And one thing that I find very interesting about this man's story, the man that was healed at the pool of Bethsaida, when Jesus came on scene, Jesus goes like, "Do you want to be made well? Man, do you want to be made well? You've been here 38 years of your life. Do you want to be made well? Really, do you want to be made well?" And guess what this man did? You would think that he would say, "Oh yeah, Jesus, I've been sitting here for 38 years of my life. Of course I want to be made well." No, he didn't do that. He gave Jesus an excuse. And oftentimes, sometimes that's what we do. Come up with all sorts of excuses as to why we can't be made, we can't be, healed, we can't be righteous, we can't live a certain way because we've been used to a certain type of living. We've been used to a certain type of thinking. This man, his whole mindset was that I have to get in the pool. And once I get in the pool, I will be healed. There is no other way. So when Jesus asked him, he completely was like, I don't have anybody to put me in the pool. How can I be made well? How can I be made well? But Jesus made the difference. Jesus made the difference when he came on scene. Child of God, if you are watching this right now, I want you to surrender it all to Jesus. Whatever that you are going through, whatever infirmity that you've been struggling with, whatever thing that you've been going through that seems like there is no way. It seems like there is no way because you've been trying to do it yourself. But hand it over to Jesus. Hand it over to him. Because when he came on scene for this man that had been in infirmity for 38 years, he made a difference. He said to him, rise, take your bed and walk. And that was it. No angel stirring up of water, because the Jesus way, he said his yoke is easy and his burden is light. Be blessed by this message. And I pray that through it all, you would give it all to Jesus. God bless you so much and have a great week.